Greetings and welcome once again to TOT Tarot for today, and this is Oberon's outlook on the emotional exchanges. It's my weekly forecast for relationships, primary or otherwise, emotional feelings, etc. So we ask basically what is coming to you, why is it important, and where it will lead to. And this is all against the idea of your emotional life, your feelings, your situations, etc. So I use the Modern Love Tarot, beautiful deck by Ethany. And the reading is situated around the elemental signs of the zodiac. So I'll read for each of those elemental signs one by one. The air signs, the fire signs, the water signs, and the earth signs. So I'm going to get started right now. And as I mentioned, we're looking at 3 cards and 3 questions. So air signs are up, and air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So what we want to know is, what is the emotional energy or vibration or situation that is coming to the air signs? And that card is Justice, and it's Justice upright. And as I look at it, it sort of looks like somebody who's doing counseling for a couple. It has a sense of counseling about it. Kind of interesting. So I think that maybe there's a question about our relationship, probably mostly a primary one, if we have one, or maybe a serious relationship of note. Maybe, relationship with parents can have uncoupling, coupling types of, situations. I mean, I've actually heard of near adult children getting emancipated from their parents. So, from a legal point of view, that's what this looks like, is that maybe something more decisive legally might be happening in a close relationship of yours. Why is this important? Well, it's the reversed King of Wands. And I don't know. It's important, I guess, because you may have to face up to some qualities about yourself or the situations you're in that you're not liking. I could see a number of ways to go here, and I don't really think I can expand on all of them, but maybe this is a question really of somebody who's being overly aggressive and forceful and assertive in areas that they don't need to be. And I don't know for sure, but I guess it could pertain to what's going on there. That whole idea about relationship troubles that require an intervention of sorts. And so it's important, I guess, because maybe somebody really needs to understand exactly what it is they're affecting in this relationship. It's sort of like maybe a sense of counseling too, then, which is what I said first before I went in a more legal definition. So I'm going to stick with that, that maybe somebody needs to not be such a red-headed, fiery-tempered person to some degree. Where will this lead to? And it's the moon reversed. And a lot of times I feel like the moon reversed says something is discovered. Something is revealed, like there's a shift in the energy, and maybe all of a sudden we see something we didn't notice before, or something has somehow become more apparent. So that's what I have for the air signs. It just looks really like, if somebody needs to talk over their problems, maybe with somebody who's more of a professional, a weird behavior toning down needs to happen, and maybe there will be a process of discovering what really is important enough that needs to be rectified. Good luck, air signs. So we will now move on to the fire signs. Fire signs: Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. I'm once again using the Modern Love Tarot by Ethany. And if you like this show, tune in to Banshee Show, The Material Matters, which is on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. And as this show is about emotional relationships and situations, her show is sort of more about, you know, the physical, economic situations in our lives. The Material Matters. So check that out. All right, so fire signs. Emotionally speaking, what is coming towards you? What energy or situation seems to be showing up? And of course, it is about movement. It's the Knight of Wands, you know, and once again, there's a fiery personality here. And I think that maybe, you know, we are moving towards encounter. You know, the Knight is a movement card, and maybe this card is saying emotionally we are looking at some sort of adventure, or we are looking at an assertiveness about, you know, our direction, or about, it could be networking, it could be building friendships, it could be relationships that are more intense of some sort, you know, so it could be something about finding a way to develop a stronger relationship with somebody. So wands are a perfect match, a court card for fire signs. But why is this important then? And it's the reversed Queen of Swords. It's important that we understand limitations, and that sometimes the things we do, we can't necessarily take time or consideration to explain all of our feelings or our motives for doing what we do, fire signs. And so you may find that it's important for you to move forward with what you want, you know, that Knight of Wands, because people may look at you regardless as, you know, not considering them enough in the situation or the decisions that might have to happen, or just sort of ignoring their role. But I think that's what's important, is that you really, you know, realize, and that others realize, you know, you don't have to answer to them in this regard. So where does it lead to? And it leads to the Wheel of Fortune. So oddly enough, I feel like this whole movement or encounter is towards something that really kind of precipitates a big change, a secular kind of thing, like moving into something really different from a cycle point of view. You know, it could be graduating from something and moving to something else. It could be making a big physical move to a new location. It could just be really resonating to some really strong forces of change and finding a way to allow them to happen in your life, you know, whether it's just doing advanced spring cleaning in your basement. Hey, I could get behind that. But anyways, that's what I have for the fire signs. I think it's quite interesting that you want to move forward with some sort of emotionally charged situation that maybe is growthful. And maybe there's resistance to that from others, but moving ahead will bring you what you're looking for, something really acceptable in terms of change and new things happening. Trusting in change. So now we will move on to the water signs. Water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. I'm not going to give you my usual drivel. So water signs, emotionally speaking, what is coming towards you? What is the energy or situation you may find yourself in? Whoa, I love when this happens, or I'm not sure if I really do. It's the Knight of Wands again, only this time they're reversed. And so you feel like something awkward is coming to you. You know, it may be somebody else who's trying to get into your circle of friends, or maybe somebody who is actually not very honorable at all. You know, the Knight of Wands reverse could be speaking towards somebody who maybe is a little cowardly, or maybe somebody who is overly ambitious or out of line in certain respects. And so maybe this is a situation that is coming towards you, whether it's a person coming towards you, or maybe it's your response to something else, which I don't think we want to really go there. Why is it important for you to understand this or see this thing coming? It's the reversed Ace of Wands. Now, it's important, I guess, because this is saying maybe something new in terms of this friendship. If this is talking about that, has really kind of withered on the vine, so to speak, that there's really a lack of energy moving this friendship forward, of any sort of development, really. It could just be maybe that somebody who you've recently met is sort of on their own pulling away, and maybe it's time for you to realize this relationship is over. Even if this is maybe a more long-standing relationship of somebody who maybe is now parting company with you, and maybe it's, you know, about logistics. It's not necessarily they don't like you anymore, but maybe something has happened and they've moved into some other, you know, part of life. So where will this ultimately lead to? Boy, I sure called that. It's the Ten of Swords, and it's upright. And so there is something that really sort of suggests there's an ending to a cycle, and that maybe there's conflict involved in this, or maybe there is something that really sort of feels like pain and hurt. Still, one has to feel that, you know, once this boil has been lanced, or whatever it is, you know, the pressure is released and things can begin to try and heal. And so now when I look at the whole thing, I guess this may be saying that water signs, you may be finding that there are things that are disruptive in relationships, or things that are not working or not strong, or striven with certain kinds of conflict. And so what had begun, or what seemed to be a foundation, has withered, like I said, and may result in an end. So now I'm going to move on to the earth signs. Earth signs: Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This one is for you. Another thing that's coming up will be the monthly modality message, because we will be moving into Pisces. I'm not sure the exact date, but we are moving from Aquarius into Pisces. That's pretty soon. So we usually do that right on the date here at our YouTube channel. Earth signs, card 1. What is coming towards you, emotionally speaking? What essence or vibration? And it's the reversed Eight of Pentacles. And you may find that you're not really feeling good about a situation you're trying to work in, that maybe you're feeling like things, skill sets, whatever, are not matched. And if we're applying this to an actual relationship, it may just feel like somebody's trying to force a familiarity that isn't really there, or something isn't seeming to be working smoothly at this time in a more established relationship. So I'm not sure about that, but why is it important? And it's the reverse Knight of Cups. And Knights, as we know, are about movement, and Cups are emotionally based. This could be saying that these are indications of maybe relationship troubles, things that just feel like, there's a sense of, well, it's not good. I won't say it's about a breakup for sure, but it just sounds like, there are disappointments in relationships, there are disconnections, there are feelings of being alone or sad or bitter. And it could be based on the fact that, we sort of feel like we're not getting the job done in certain respects. If we're expecting somebody to be cooperative or part of our team, romantic or friendship, it doesn't seem to be happening. There's somehow is resistance, or it's working away. And so there may be something dissolving. I don't know. Where will this ultimately lead to? And it's justice reversed, which almost feels that way too. The idea that things did not work out, things were not equitable. So if this is talking about, the end of a relationship for earth signs, I don't think every single earth sign is going to have an end of a relationship, but maybe there's other things that are ending that are aspects to the relationship, like maybe there are just alterations somehow. But the denouement looks pretty grim for the earth signs. I'm just going to have to say that. I'm not liking that. Since this is just a week in time, we could see that maybe, these are the kind of things that are just about, our momentary interactions that are, bringing out these ideas, that sometimes people need time to process and reconsider, a better option. So I'm just saying that. It's Oberon here for the Emotional Exchanges. Don't forget to watch our happy hour. Don't forget that tomorrow it is on at 4 p.m. It'll be on later in the afternoon. That's Eastern Standard Time, right here on our YouTube channel. And of course, I already mentioned some of the other programming going on. So I want to wish everybody a wonderful day, and we'll see you next week on my Emotional Exchanges. Bye-bye.